starting to the right.
Hey, Mark Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns guy.
Jan Davis Utah, Ravens Nation.
Chris Atkins, Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the
Oh, you're
bogus
not a
motherfucker on the couch right now.
I feel kind of rich, actually. I feel kind of rich right now.
It's gonna really suck if his season is horrible.
He's the poorest man on the
I
couch.
know.
He just
If he
spent all
gets
his
injured
money.
in the first couple of games or in preseason, man, that's gonna hurt.
Done.
All right. So.
That's why I'll talk about it, but that's why you give a guy like that kind of money. He's durable. He doesn't miss that many games, but we'll get
Well, let's we'll get it.
All right. Well, Bengals. Bengal news. Bengals signed Benet Ben-Wickery from Carolina, who was a free agent, so we picked up a cornerback. I don't know if this was in response to Adam Jones or they like Ben-Wickery. We know he got torched by Julio Jones this year, but a lot of people got torched by Julio Jones this year, so I'm not going to hold that against him. You can never have too many corners, so I have no problem with it. Shane Graham signed a one-day contract, so he's going to retire as a Bengal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 14 teams,
I
but
like that.
he decided the best years he had were at Cincinnati, so it'd be nice to...
Really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I think that's really
because
cool.
a guy played for 14 teams. I mean, he literally could have picked any team on this couch because he kicked for all of these teams. So, yeah. So in addition to the Saints and the Patriots and all that, but he picked Cincinnati.
He was in Cleveland?
Yeah, they short 14 teams. He hit almost half the league. So a lot of talk about whether we're going to trade McCarron still. I really think if we do, we've got to hold out for a 1, maybe a high 2 if somebody falls out of the first day and is sitting there on the second day, and we can go ahead and trade routine. So, he's a fit for a lot of teams. We're going to see what happens to Cousins. I had speculated earlier that I thought Cousins might wind up in San Francisco, which means that A.J. McCarron might be a candidate to go to Washington.
What if everybody's talking about if he reunited with Shanahan? What if that's like I don't want to be.
No, he said that was one of the teams that he
I know he said that, but like
it came out there's one other team he's willing to take a trade to.
So
yeah,
we'll
there's Niners and I forget the other one.
But we're going to go ahead and if we're going to trade AJ, it's got to be a high 2 or a 1. I think he's definitely worth it. I mean, everybody forgets that had it not been for the Hill fumble and the meltdown at the end of the game, the headline would have been A.J. McCarron leads the Bengals back to a playoff victory against Pittsburgh. That would have been the headline. So I think McCarron's definitely worth it. If not, I say we keep McCarron as insurance for the season. Because if we truly think we're going to be a playoff team, you need a bona fide backup. I think everybody in the league realizes that.
I'll attest to that.
Bengals picked up 4 compensatory picks, as we had talked
you guys
about.
cleaned up.
We got 1 in each of the last 4 rounds, so a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7. So we picked up the 4 compensatory picks. And then we have a lot of pending free agents: Whitworth, Zietler, Kirkpatrick, Burkhead, Pecco, LaFell, Gilberry, Dansbury, Marcus Hunt, Pierman, Winston, and Cheeky Brown.
45 million.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 44 million in cap space. Yeah. If we cut Adam Jones after June 1st, we cut Ray Malaluga, and we let Michael Johnson go, we could pick up 16 more million. So we could go into it with $60 million if need be. So I'd like to sign some of our own guys. We're never really big players in free agency. So like to keep Burkhead, like to keep Whitworth as a locker room leader. Zeke's going to be too expensive. So we'll just see how things play out. So that's Bengal news. Go
Excellent.
for it.
Browns news. We tendered Crowell today, $2.8 million. If he signs in free agency with another team, we get a second-round pick out of that deal. We re-signed Colquitt today to a 4-year deal. A couple of weeks ago, we re-signed the long snapper. So the special teams are starting to take shape. Still no word on the Pryor, getting him under contract, but that's going to get done eventually here. We can't let a guy like that go. And
I wonder what he's worth. I mean, like just based on the one season.
I want to say I read somewhere it was between like 7.8 and 8.2 per year.
Interesting.
That sounds kind of cheap for a wideout, especially when his age.
But I mean, he's only had one standout season. He's got a lot to prove.
So
1 year, 27 years old, 28, whatever. All right, that's pretty much what I got for Browns news. I'll cover draft picks and all that other nonsense.
I'm right on the same page with you. So moving on to Ravens news. Matt Elam is not going to be with the Ravens probably any longer.
Bust!
I mean, honestly, he's not the worst bust we've ever had, but that's pretty goddamn close.
He's close.
And also over 20 grams.
What an ending!
I know, right? And I really loved at Elam. Like
You did.
I did. I
You
told
did.
you
You were high on him.
whenever I was high on him, whenever he came out of the draft, like I thought he was going to be great, and he just never developed. And also, like a little
This side of the
sentimental.
couch is
No,
all-
and I get that, but I'm a sentimental guy. He has the same birthday as me. Like I'm like, dude, all right, cool, but it is what it is. So
Loser.
I will say that like I can't claim this joke, but it's a fucking really good one. But apparently he's not good in any kind of nickel and dime packages.
there you go.
Oh!
With intent to sell.
Thank you,
With
Reddit.
intent to
We
Thank
sell.
you, Reddit.
We have a group
That
chat
can't constitute-
between the four, or actually amongst the whole group, and I
But
had to
there's a bunch
explain
of us, yeah.
who Sam Hurd was to my girlfriend after this because he's following right in Sam Hurd's steps. We're probably
Right.
going to be locked up together.
Yeah.
Fuck
So,
Sam
real quick, going through news. Our former offensive coordinator Marc has now with has a job with the CFL.
Yeah,
so
well, you gotta
good.
do that.
Don't come play the NFL anymore. There was some interesting talk between Tony Jefferson and Eric Weddle.
Oh,
My
yeah.
brain is not connecting on names.
Yeah.
But on Eric Weddle, that was an interesting little thing about where Tony Jefferson might want to come play. I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be interesting. We have 7 picks in the 2017 draft. We have 1 comp pick, which is weird for us. We usually have like a gazillion. That's at number 99, round 3. Everybody keeps asking who's returning for us. Like, there's so many question marks, and Ozzy always winds up throwing a curveball. I don't think anybody really knows.
He's been throwing himself.
Man, he hasn't done compared to some. He hasn't drafted badly. So I mean,
I think
you've
that was
got-
directed
you've
towards
got-
you.
you've
I
got
think
just
that was
under
directed right
15
towards
million.
yeah, I think that was.
You
Yeah,
haven't hit
15
anything
million
in
cap
5
space,
fucking
so-
years with Ozzy. When are you guys going to stop saying
What are you talking
Ozzy,
about? We
trust?
had a Pro Bowler. We had like this year. We also had in his first year we had a Pro Bowler with.
Awesome. We have a Pro Bowler.
We
too,
also
so
had
tell
like
us.
we had CJ. So like, but we also have
Prior.
2 titles under him
2 titles. We've got 9
and 2
championships.
Super Bowls.
9
All right,
championships.
that's
9
cute.
championships.
You're talking
It's
about the
cute.
past. I'm talking about right now. So
Your titles were in the past also, pal.
Yeah,
You
the
didn't
last
win one
2,
last
and
year.
and
I
here's
You
want
didn't
to
win one
apologize to
year.
everybody out there. Somehow
But
we
here's the
went
thing.
from YouTube to become the History Channel.
Yeah, I know, right?
Enjoy,
They just refuse to recognize history. Disillusional.
How am I disillusional? Like I'm saying that like I actually just opened up with like a draft bust of his. How am I delusional? All right, thank you.
Ravens
so-
have 14.8 million
Yeah,
cap space,
so-
so you're going to have to let somebody go to create cap space.
Exactly, we definitely are. Flacco and Pitta also lead the NFL in failed completions in 2016. Flacco at 33% incomplete, and Pitta
Damn.
had 31 failed completions.
He would have been. He would have had
Yeah.
100. He would have had
It's not a comfortable
120
stat.
catches last year if he would have caught those 33 other passes.
33%
Oh,
of his
percent.
33%.
He missed a third.
So he
of the
dropped a
passes
third of his
came in
passes.
direction.
He was the top of the NFL. He led the league. In
Wow.
failed
Congratulations
completions.
on winning.
I know, right? Good times.
Top of the NFL.
Not bad.
And
though.
that's
you don't want.
I mean, really, like that's really the big stuff for Ravens news. Moving on, Steelers.
Steelers. First, I want to give a shout out to my man Jack Lambert's balls on Reddit. The Steelers.
You shout out to him every single week.
Because
I
he's
love
my
you, Jack
man.
Lambert's balls.
Jack, my man.
I love that dude.
So, the Steelers subreddit have their annual awards, and of course, my man wins MVP.
Oh, he always wins MVP.
Oh yeah, because he's the man.
He's fucking
He's the
man.
So a couple weeks ago, I had reported on Sammy Coates.
Ben Rosen. Love you, Ben Rosen.
I reported on Sammy Coates having surgery, which I had just assumed to be on that mangled up hand. But now I'm getting reports that surgery is actually to repair a groin injury, and that his hand is still as bad as it's ever been. And there was even a report that talked about his hands being mangled like lineman hands. And Sammy Coates, I mean,
That's
I
good
really
for a
don't
receiver.
know. I really don't know what his future is. I mean, if he's really that bad, and what we saw after the injury this year, if that's his future, then he has a very short future in the NFL. I
That
don't
would be
see
like
it
a no
now.
future.
Right. So let's jump to Bell. We placed the exclusive franchise tag on him, which means he's going to make a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
But no other teams can interfere or make any offers at this time. My man just had the third best season in terms of yards from the line of scrimmage in history. He's going to get paid, but with Brown coming before him, I just don't know what that means. I mean, to be honest, I think that's kind of a bargaining chip that teams use to say, hey, look, we already spent all of our money, so you get what's left. He was first, you get what's left, or you can leave and go play for someone who's not a contender. So...
you can go play for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are contenders.
Exactly.
You don't think the Patriots will pick them up?
Most of those contenders already have running backs. Like, how many contenders don't have running backs?
Yeah, but it only takes...
Seattle.
Seattle. Still looking to replace Marshawn Lynch.
There's one.
Green Bay
could use one.
There's lots of teams that would take him.
I said contender. I said contender.
The how far did they get versus how far? Like, you guys pretty much got to the same spot. So...
Yeah.
Like, you want to say contender...
My question is, how are you going to
makes the
sign
playoffs?
Bell in 2018 when you're going to have an $18 million salary cap hit from Antonio Brown in 2018,
This guy
a
gets it.
$19 million cap hit in 2019, and if you try to get out of it early, you gave him a $19 million signing bonus. Anybody who wants to check Twitter, it's on AFC Northerners' mind. You can see all the terms of the Brown contract,
Yep.
which basically between the franchise tender
It does-
and
it's-
the contract, you're done. You have $5 million left. You
So-
have $5 million left for everybody else,
Exactly.
including your draft class.
Going back to Steelers guy reporting Steelers news. Going back to Steelers guy reporting Steelers news.
Question.
So Antonio Brown is now the highest paid wide receiver
Yes, he is.
in the NFL.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
And I don't know whether to say congratulations or F you or like just how I feel about this. I mean, Mark and I were talking about just walking in. I'm not a huge fan of guys going for top dollar, and I'm really not a fan of Drew Rosenhaus, who just happens to be Brown's agent. I'm sure he was behind, this greatest NFL wide receiver salary and contract ever.
He did his job. His job is to get as much money
job.
as
He's a
client.
little too good at his job. He's a little too good. Yep, a little too good at his job.
Yeah, exactly. Just did.
But $68 million, 4-year extension. It's essentially a 5-year contract because he has 1 year left plus 4. He's got $17 million a year for that plus 4. We'll see how that works out, and we'll see how that plays into signing other guys. But he's not the first person to get a big contract. Ben did the same thing. Every superstar has done that in the past, and guess what? Other guys get signed.
Does that mean I don't get any shit anymore about Flacco getting that contract after winning a Super Bowl? Yeah.
You know what?
I mean,
I
what-
will still give
okay,
you shit about
Brown is
Well, see, it's like-
Brown is arguably the best wide receiver
I can
in the
expect
NFL.
that from you. Him, not so much anymore.
Brown is arguably the best receiver in the NFL. Is Flacco arguably the best quarterback in the NFL?
No.
All right,
No.
all right. Then yes, you will still
But
continue to
Julio
get
Jones.
shit. Julio Jones, is awesome. I got nothing bad to
I
say.
love Julio Jones.
Yeah, I got nothing bad to say.
Anyway.
Mark.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Well,
The agency,
previewing
all that stuff.
a few players that we want to watch is coming up in the combine. Reuben Foster is a big favorite among Bengal Reddit and all of the Bengal posts in terms of getting some linebacker help. Solomon Thomas is another name that's been tossed around.
Yeah,
from
Solomon Thomas.
Stanford. And also Derek Barnett. I know there's and that's from Tennessee, another defensive end. Those are the three I see us using our picks on. I think any talk about a wide receiver is all a smokescreen. I think the Bengals typically in free agency, remember, we're not big spenders in free agency. So we'll go out, we'll spend the bulk of our money re-signing probably 4 or 5 of the guys on our pending free agents that I mentioned. I'm hoping it's Whitworth. I'm hoping it's Burkhead. I'm hoping it's Marcus Hunt, Cheeky Brown. I don't think we'll pony up for Drake or Patrick. I think that's where the Ben Wickery comes in. And we're getting William Jackson III back in. So we're not big spenders, but I do see us maybe going after some bargains. Maybe going after a Kenny Stills and not re-signing LaFell. He's a guy who can stretch the defense, and certainly
Does the
he would
same
be
thing.
kind of a bargain price. That's kind of where the Bengals are when free agency. They're looking at those middle tier guys. They're not going to go out and spend $60 million. The contract Eric Berry got, as much as I'd love to see him on our team, Mike Brown would never offer that contract to him, ever, to anybody. So it's not going to happen. So I see us kind of losing the bulk of our money, taking care of our own guys, and then picking up some somebody who's a bargain. So, but those are the three names thrown around a lot as what we're going to do with our number 9 pick overall. And I really would like to see Reuben Foster from Alabama.
Yeah.
I think him and Vontez would be
Nice
that would be a nice nice pair of linebackers right there. So
all right, well, my list combine-wise of people I'm taking a look at, we're going to start right here. We're going to go Peppers, Ramsey the tackle, Adoree Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Cam Robinson, Eddie Jackson from Bama, the safety, Lorenzo Jerome from St. Francis, another safety, Chidobe Awuzie from Colorado, a corner.
I love that name.
Awuzie.
Ethan Posick from LSU, and Pat Elflin from the Buckeyes. Those are the guys we're watching in the combine. Guys we hope to pick up in free agency, Tremaine Johnson. We want to get Whitworth. Wouldn't mind running a go at Mangold, TJ Lang.
You and me both on Mangold.
And Tony Jefferson for free agent hold.
Dude, Tony Jefferson and Mangold are like, they're kind of like my dream. If I could pick them up right now, that'd be great.
Yeah, you can't afford them though.
I know exactly. That's
what I'm
saying. Like,
if somebody's
you never know what the fuck Ozzy's gonna do.
I know.
So.
Our own free agents, I mean, we got a shit ton of money to spend. I wouldn't be surprised if we bring back a bunch of them. We know McCown's not going to come back. I personally think he ends up in Dallas.
Yeah. I do too.
Tremont Williams,
I don't. Romo and he'll be the backup.
I don't think Tremont resigns. I don't want him to resign. I read today Pasteur might be on the way out. I like the offensive line depth, so I'd really, really like to keep him around.
Where'd you hear that from?
Where did I read that?
You wrote it down and you read it.
I want to say it was AFC North Trash Talk page on Facebook.
Okay.
I think is where I read that.
Interesting. Okay.
Then we got a couple of guys that are bench guys. Atkinson the third, Winston, both running backs, Jordan Poyer, Burley. Hopefully we'll get those guys signed to relatively cheap deals. That's pretty much what I got as far as free agency goes. Guys we're looking at and combine.
You guys have covered a lot of the guys that I was going to talk about already. So I'll talk about some ones that you did and some of the ones that were interesting for Raven. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm
cool.
good.
Thank you. So Chet, out of wide receivers, I know that the wide receiver draft is like ridiculous this year. Chad Hansen, FCS. He's a wide receiver he's a FCS level out of Cal State. This kid's really interesting to me. Like, I'm really curious to see what he does in the combine. He's got a really interesting way. I think that not only is he good underneath too. Yeah, like look him up. Like go look at his tape. Chad Hansen. I heard about this kid on a podcast, and I wound up doing a lot of research on him. And I was actually kind of surprised that nobody's really talked about this kid.
Right.
So maybe you want to look for another one. Tight end Adam Shaheen. Okay. He's a Division II, but don't let that fool you because this kid's 6'6", 270 pounds, and he moves. Right. Like he's got some wiggle. He's interesting. So he's a kid that's really interesting. To me, he's a second. He might be a second round, but probably more of a third round.
Division II is probably
yeah. I think his second is reaching, but I think that a third round is probably where he's at. I mean, O.J. Howard out of Alabama. Like, I love that kid. I'm really interested.
There's going to be a lot of Alabama players this year.
And Ajoku out of Miami is also one that I was really interested in. Have you, real quick, I wanted to parlay this. Because I wrote this down and I was looking at this kid. I don't understand why people are high on him. Quincy Wilson out of Florida, cornerback. I'm not
rangy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but my problem is that he allows
way his hips.
He allows a little bit too much of a gap between him and other like wide receivers.
Where's Ramsey?
Ramsey, tackle, Wisconsin.
No. The cornerback that Florida had a couple years ago. Florida State had a couple years ago.
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey
is on the Cowboys.
The reason I was saying that is because I feel like
the Cowboys or Jets?
No, it's the Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah.
Certain programs just make they're just made to make cornerbacks look better. I just don't know how good some of those guys are.
I mean, honestly, like, even whenever I watch, like, I love corners and I love my safeties. Like, I'm a secondary guy, and so whenever I'm looking at combine in the draft, like, those are the guys that I always wind up going for because it's like Ed Reed is my heart.
I don't think it just applies to the college level. I think it applies to the pro level too.
Yeah.
You look at certain guys.
If you can't get separation in college, that bothers me.
In certain teams' schemes, and then they go to a different team. Matt Cassell is one of those guys. That's why I'm not hip on Garoppolo or giving up a draft pick for the guy. Because he seems like a system quarterback of Bill Belichick's system.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I'm not really pushing for Drake Kirkpatrick, although he's been a serviceable corner for us, is he's more of a man-to-man corner. We don't play that kind of scheme.
Yeah.
And I think he'll do better in another system. And I think a team that has that kind of system will pay him a lot more than we're going to pay him.
Yeah.
So he's probably not going to.
I want to ask a question.
You don't have the money for it. You don't have the money for Patrick. You just spent. You guys basically just spent.
All right, so let's move over and let him do his.
All right, free agents. There's two guys I'm really worried about here. Lawrence Timmons, 30-year-old inside linebacker. I just don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, how are you going to pay for free agency when you literally...
That's somebody that's for the right price, we would pick up Timmons. We're looking for linebacker help. And we picked up Harrison before. He didn't really fit our scheme, but
here's the thing, though. Like, how are you thinking about fitting the Iron Curtain when you just traded it all in for a tin cup?
Yeah.
For a tin cup.
Like, you literally have no more money. You've got tin cup. You're in tin cup status.
18 million, 12.
He had to send in his coffee for a tin cup.
That's for the Moscow Mule.
I don't know what our exact stat is.
Gonna play some secret math and come up with some more money.
I don't know what our exact stat is on cap space right now, but I do see Timmons retiring the Steelers. I don't see him going anywhere. I see him making a deal, possibly having some deferred compensation, but it's got to be really deferred now.
But that's the whole thing. You're talking, you defer. You've deferred so much of Ben's money. I mean, eventually you have to...
As somebody who has college loans, you can't defer shit forever.
So when Ben got signed his contract, I'm sure you guys were saying, oh, shit, you guys gave Ben this much money. How are you going to go find someone?
Not at all. He's a quarterback. I never said that.
You do not think we gave Ben too much money?
No.
I thought that, like, I think everybody gives quarterbacks too much money. So that's nothing really coming from me.
I think they're going to find a way to put guys on the field. Worst case scenario, if Timmons doesn't work out, if he wants too much money, be 31 in the NFL, that's okay. We'll have to draft someone. I don't know who that person's going to be. We have a couple other guys inside linebacker.
So are you looking at free in combine though?
Yeah, you're
like what's combine for
you? You're going to be filling holes in the draft. That's what you can afford.
Yeah.
You have no more free agent money.
So before I get to that, one other guy, D'Angelo Williams is the other guy I'm worried about signing as a free agent. I just don't believe very much in our running back depth.
Hey, goodbye.
He's another guy. He's no spring chicken. I don't see him going somewhere.
Your reign is about over, my friend.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you.
You have no
I
idea
just
what you
named you
just
two
done.
teams that have cap space and have need at running back, and that's Seattle and Green Bay. They are both looking. D'Angelo Williams, the perfect fit.
We need a combine. Who are you looking at? Because we got to get to Reddit.
Yeah.
More than specific players, I'm looking at position. I mean, there's just too many guys out there.
I agree. And also, like, you guys should know that, like, I fucking hate combine. Like, combine is the most. I go back through and I watch combine, and thank God that I can just fast forward through bullshit.
Most exciting thing is the tape of Rich Eisen.
Unfortunately, the Steelers.
They put that in.
Right.
The tie's going.
Unfortunately, the Steelers pick way after anyone else here on this couch. It's a little bit more complex for me to do.
Which means it's going to suck even worse.
It's a little bit more complex for me to do analysis on the combine. But here's what I'm really looking at. I'm looking at outside linebacker. I mean, Harrison's going to come in as a 39-year-old, I think, this year. We know that Jarvis Jones is out the door. I think he's a free agent as well. Get the hell out of here. We are going to draft Harrison's replacement this year. We have to. I don't see any free agents out there that are likely to come to the Steelers. That's the number one priority, in my opinion, in the draft. Number two could be receiver. I mean, I want to see how Rodgers develops, and maybe in the OTAs here. But with Sammy Coates possibly being out, and
Stone.
mangled fingers, And the other guys past him, maybe not doing so well. Darius Hayward-Bay only has a couple years left.
We gotta get
So I see us drafting wide receivers as well. So.
Excellent. We're going to Reddit Mailbag.
All right, guys. So this is how this works. We post on Reddit. Ask on all 4 subreddits of the teams. They send us in their questions, and we ask them live here. We don't see these questions until right now. So,
and you will know that when you listen
to our answers. Yes, we will.
And you get that deer in the headlights.
First question: going to Baltimore, possibility of adding Peterson or Charles?
Oh God, neither one really. Honestly, unless they come really cheap. If they come cheap, because it is not really but it's not really a good market out there for a free agent running back.
Charles will be a specific team because of the injury history, and he only played 3 games.
Exactly a year.
Adrian Peterson will want to go to a contender.
But it was also like Adrian Peterson even declined a little bit.
Ezekiel Elliott just blew it for him. He wanted to go to
the AP will wind up on
but I think
the
that the free agent
you heard it here first, New York Giants.
I think the free agent running back market is a lot more.
Cincinnati, in a dream scenario, what FA from another team do you want most?
Well, I wanted Eric Berry, but he's not going to be available. And like I said, the Bengals won't spend the money. You know what? I'm going to talk realistically. I would like to see Timmons possibly as a fill-in, and I would like to see Stills. I think they fit in nicely, and they fit our pocketbook. So
excellent. Pittsburgh, assuming all stay healthy and not suspended, will the Steelers focus more on defense or stick to their BPA strategy in the draft?
We got to go defense. We got to replace We got to replace Harrison. We got to replace Jones. Defense, easy question.
All right, let's throw a light one out there from the Browns sub. Which one of us drink the most?
Me.
All right, I'm going to give myself a who are the? Let's go.
I see a lot of Browns.
How long do we think this rebuild will last? I say it will because I believe this coach and front office is here to stay at least 2 more years.
Is that Browns?
Yeah, that's
when
for
did the
me.
rebuild
And
start?
I think that we probably got another year and a half. I see us.
Which rebuild?
We've added the right type of pieces for the last year and a half, and now it's just going to be able to. Right there. Pittsburgh's not receiving another question.
That's the equivalent of a downvote right there.
So you're CNN. You're gone.
I'm going to do another one for the Browns. Because of your fuck up. Ideally, with the large Browns cap and the many draft picks this year, what are the best wombo combos you can come up with that you feel would most improve the Browns? I like Jonathan Allen, number 1, and I think if we don't make a play for a quarterback in the open market or through trade, Mahomes probably makes the most sense to me at 1 and 12.
Let's do 2 more.
McCarron. Trade us picks for McCarron.
Let's go with Steelers. What is each team's biggest need going into the offseason? So what's your biggest need going into the offseason?
Right now, each team's biggest free agent need, like I said, for us, it's definitely going to be outside linebacker. We need to get Harrison's replacement. For Jan here, I think it's either going to be a corner or a wide receiver. I mean, you guys had pretty big.
Yeah, we need wide receiver.
Pretty big losses.
I mean,
wide receiver.
Those are the 2 things. But honestly, pass rush for us.
Okay.
And for the Brownies, I mean, you mentioned you're in that rebuild phase. You guys have kind of been in for 20 years or so. If I were you, I would draft a center. I would draft a stud center.
Yeah.
Think about the Colts when they picked up Peyton Manning. They're like, okay, let's go get Jeff Saturday to be his anchor.
Joe Thomas.
There's only 2 guys right there that you can actually make legitimate cases for as stud centers, and neither one are expected to go in the first round.
Exactly.
Take him in a second.
So
Now, Joe Thomas
50
has a
there.
finite shelf life. You have to start thinking about that. He's your anchor. You need someone else to step up for him.
Yeah.
Hence
Mark?
why I plugged Ramsey.
We got one more question after this.
Go
Go
ahead.
for it.
Mark, I mean, when healthy, you guys are pretty stacked. I might go offensive line, though, because Dalton got planted.
There's no question. That's why we need to re-sign Whitworth.
But he got planted with Whitworth.
All right, and
that doesn't mean that he was the one. He was the one who got torched. We're talking about a locker room leader, and he'll work with.
I know.
all right, and we're gonna end this thing with a Browns question since
Since
we
they've all been
Browns have a lot of questions.
For the record, that's because Browns fans actually participate.
Okay. Is that what it is?
That's
You hear that, Ravens
yes.
subreddit? Browns fans
Right.
participate. We don't.
Who is your favorite quarterback in the draft? I like Mahomes.
God. The quarterback.
I like Mahomes. I think. Anybody else got anything else to say? Sign off on this fucker then?
No. I
Do
think
you
we're
actually want
good.
to draft a quarterback? Are you actually thinking about drafting a
Not
quarterback?
1, not 12. When people discuss drafting quarterbacks, and because we have the first pick, doesn't mean we have to take a quarterback with the number 1 overall pick.
You know, you're right.
It's
You're right.
stupid logic. Offense does not win championships. It's fucking defense. That's something that we need to continue to build up right there, in my opinion.
Okay, cool.
What's the name of the character in Draft Day? Like that guy or
The unrealistic character that Kevin Costner played.
Kevin Costner's like, it's like or bust or something like that, right?
We will let them run their mouth
quarterback,
for the
yeah,
next 6
yeah,
months,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
when we thump
It was
on
a
these
pass rush,
fuckers,
right?
and they have no idea what the fuck
Put a
happened,
$100
they
bill
can
in the
have
play
this
for
on
him.
their-
See if he tells you about it.
Exactly.
See if he tells you about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, one quick question. Is character going to play an issue for you guys now that you spent your first rounder on Elam and he turned out to be a drug dealer?
I mean, character's always affected our fucking line. I mean, Jesus Christ. You can say the same thing about Rapist Burger.
Oh, I know, absolutely.
All right, because we're
No,
running
no,
a
no,
little
no.
long. Let's sign off, right,
Elam
gentlemen?
got caught.
Blood
He will
got
be
caught.
convicted.
Blood got caught, and then
Look
you
at
guys
the
gave
movie.
him up.
Okay.
Blood got caught.
This is awesome.
We're
We
signing off.
haven't been together in a room
Wait.
for a while.
What was on a, he was going on a plane trip.
Like
What was he smoking up?
Like we always sign off. All right,
Wait,
let's do it.
make sure you, if you want to, please send us your questions to our Reddit, to our mailbag right here. AFC
Never get it on
Northerners. We're
TV
never
at
gonna
this
get fucking sick. Who gives a shit?
We're already on TV.
There is no more TV. This is the internet's a new thing. AFCNortherners@gmail.com for YouTube. If you like us, you can help us out and make our production even better on Patreon.com. Patreon.com/AFC Northerners.
Use fully charged batteries.
That's right
Yeah, we
there.
could really use new batteries.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let's sign this off like we usually do with
Fuck the Patriots.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Harrisburg.
And fuck the Patriots.
You like my sister?
Yeah.
Well, don't. Your tongue is ashy.
I don't think that's possible.
Yo, dog, it's so dang ashy. It's ashy. Dude, it's ashy. It's ashy. Ooh, I need a tic-tac, somebody. Tic-tac.
Hey, fellow Northerners. We love the show. We want to make it even better.
You may have noticed we started showing game clips, and we have even more planned for you guys. So we need your help. We started a Patreon page to bring you our show commercial-free for less than $5 a month.
For less than the price of a Grey Barbarian Knit Octopus beanie on Amazon, which is actually a thing, you should look that up, you can help make this show even better, including instant reactions to each game, a weekly podcast, in-depth analysis, and much more.
If you want to help us improve and you can spare a little change, go to patreon.com/AFC Northerners or click in the link below in the show notes to subscribe.
Exactly. We appreciate every one of your views, your comments, and your emails. Thanks for watching, and as always,
Fuck the Patriots.
thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Look at me! I'm Dr. Zoidberg!